no action is possible without its doer. Just as fragrance and flower, light and lamp are inseparably connected, deed and doer are inseparable. You cannot think of deed without its doer. You may have a glance at the things lying around you in your room. Each article has its maker. Not a single thing is spontaneously made without maker. When all the objects in the universe have one or the other maker, can't we believe that the whole universe itself must have a maker? Apply your intellect, so-called modern scientific intellect. We all boast of modern science. I appreciate. It doesn't mean that I am not approving the science. I do really appreciate. But apply it properly everywhere. So, when all the objects in the universe have one or the other maker, can't we feel that the whole universe itself must have a maker? If each object has a subject, if each deed has got a doer, the cosmos must have its creator. Just as object without subject cannot exist, creation without creator cannot exist. This is proved scientifically. You cannot expect 100% punctuality with regard to time, place and action, even from the most punctual man throughout his life. At least during his sickness, he cannot pursue perfect punctuality. Man is so moody and subject to elasticity and flexibility that he can't maintain the same habits and actions with the same punctuality from his birth to death. Leave aside the period of his childhood and old age. In his youth or the most mature age, he can't observe perfect punctuality in all his actions throughout all the days of the year or years. But you may have a glance at the firmament and solar system. The moon, the stars, and all the planets rotate and revolve with same speed and same punctuality in the same orbit to such an extent that there is difference of not a single second or a centimeter. If you observe minutely, you will come to know that a particular planet, after having completed rotation for a particular period, reaches the same spot exactly at the same time as usual. This exactness and accuracy in solar system is a sufficient proof for every thinker that there is supreme power that regulates the cosmos so appropriately and accurately that there is no clash, no accident, no repetition, no failure, no delay, no negligence since the perception of the cosmos. Such accuracy and exactness in regulating so vast cosmos without perfect maker is not possible. Look at the mysterious and wonderful construction of man's body. It is like a cage containing a marvelous bird named soul. The soul is in the body like the bird in a cage. If a door of an ordinary cage remains open for a moment, the bird flies out, it will fly away because the cage door is open, it goes away. But this human cage has 9 doors which are never closed. Never closed. Eyes, ears, senses, all these things. All are open all times. Yet the bird, soul, never flies out of it before fixed time. Here lies the greatness of God, who created this unique human cage with 9 doors open. The bird, soul, which is confined in the cage, is itself not willing to come out of it unless call comes from the Creator. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to get out of the body. Even the body is sick, is ailing, sick. Somebody sent a message, oh, that particular person passed away, we all feel very sorry, etc., etc. I wrote, well, can anybody live in the body permanently? Jatya hi anam dhruvam. Lord Krishna says in the Gita, whoever is born is sure to die. So what is there? And moreover, the person whom you are referring was suffering so much in body. Don't you think it's a great release for him, for the soul? Let the soul rest in peace and happiness. It has cast off the sick body in a way. So, recall the time when you were hanging in helplessness with your legs up and head down in the womb of your mother for 9 months together. Who protected you and provided you with food in that dingy cell? Who did? None but God, none but Providence. Who possesses the power of producing man out of sperm and ovum? None but the Creator. Who protects and feeds the most tiny creatures under the earth? None but the Lord of the universe. Who fills the nipples of mother with milk before the baby is born? None but the Supreme Being. Do you have this analytical mind? Then surely you conclude God exists. There was a hermit. Chidananda tells this, who spent his whole lifetime in meditation in a forest. He was a born yogi. He knew nothing about the world and worldly affairs. All through he was in the forest. He used to remain absorbed in and engage himself in meditation throughout day and night. One day, he came out of the forest to a house nearby. He knocked at the door and asked for some food. A young, manageable girl came to the door and handed over food to the hermit. His glance fell on the breast of the maiden. He was amazed to see, because first time he seeing the breast of the woman. Pointing to the nipples, the hermit asked the girl very innocently and sincerely as to why her breast was swollen. The maiden felt very shy. She did not answer to the hermit, but she hastened back to her mother and informed her innocently of the question of the hermit. The mother of the girl came to the door and said to the hermit, Swami, what do you want to inquire? He said, I want to know why the breast of your daughter is swollen. What? Have you not seen young girls in your life? No. I have not come across such girls in my life, replied the hermit. Where have you been living all the time? He said, in the forest, away from hustle, bustle and humdrum of noisy life of the world. The lady knew that the question of the hermit was full of innocence, so she began to explain to him. Well, she is a marriageable girl. After marriage she will give birth to a child. The Divine Lord has already made the nipples ready in her breast for the coming babe. Just before the birth of the baby, her nipples will be filled with milk. And in having heard this, the hermit was astonished and said, God is so kind to mankind that He prepares the place of food for him long before he is born. Of course, He who creates has to worry about the sustenance of His children. Corroborated the lady. Then the hermit said to himself, why do you worry about yourself? He who prepares nipples of milk for the baby much before he is born, nay, long before the mother of the baby is married, will never forget and forsake you. He thought to himself like this. Then the hermit went back to the forest and never left his meditation again for food. He relied on God. Somehow he would get food from somewhere. Those creatures that stay in the bottom of the ocean, in the innermost cells of the underground, in the midst of the rocks, at the tops of the mountains, on the airy surface of the sky, are provided with food by none but the Lord of the universe. He is the great Father who looks after all His children alike. Man should bow before none except Him. Tasmai Jyeshtaya Brahmane Namaha. Atharvaveda says, let us offer salutation to all powerful Supreme Lord. So to perceive providence, receptive mind is required. Receptive mind. He who is absorbed in materialism remains far from spiritualism. There are some people who believe in nature, but not the maker of nature. To a mystic eye, every leaf of tree, every grain of crop, every drop of ocean, every stone of mountain, every planet of the sky, every color of rainbow, every particle of dust and sand appears apparelled in celestial beauty, the illumination of Almighty. If you cast a thoughtful glance at the varied and variegated nature, you will invariably feel the presence of the Supreme Power, who transforms the smallest seed buried beneath dust into a tall tree with beautiful leaves, fragrant flowers and flavorful fruits. None but omnipotent Almighty. Can a man dare make a tiny leaf of a tree? Not at all. He who cannot even make the smallest leaf has no right to disbelieve and deny the existence of the Creator of the cosmos. The creation of the Creator is so full of wonders and variety